Hi everyone, this is Grace of gbmaltese, and I am going to redo an ironing video that I did because I have been playing around a little bit and I have discovered some things about these canvases that was a little surprising for me. When I did my last video, and I think I'm going to just take that one down, I showed myself spraying water on the backs of the canvases, and that's what I normally did on canvases. But I'm finding that either these canvases have more paper in them now. I'm not really sure, but from now on I won't be using water on any of my canvases. And let me tell you why. After I did my canvases and they were still a little damp, when they dried, they kind of had a little wave in them. Have you ever gotten mail wet and when it dried it had just kind of a little wave in it? Well, that's what happened. It didn't happen to my smaller ones, but it did happen to this one. And I did go ahead and work it and it came out fine, but it did have a bit of a wave to it when I was working on it. But I do want to show you, because I've had several people ask me, can you iron your canvas with the drills on it? And I found out, yes, you can. And this time I do have a thin, just a really thin towel stretched out, because I do have like a hump in my table that was keeping it from being very smooth. But I'm going to show you how. Okay, I have the setting right before the steam. I've got it on the wool setting. Since I'm not going to be using water, I do not want the iron to be as hot. And since I found out there's more paper than cotton, because I used to have canvases that had cotton in them. And, you know, everything worked out just fine. Okay, now as you can see, I am just ironing this. The drills are on it. I've already done this once before. You can see kind of where it was a little bit wavy. And it has just a tiny bit left. I cut the edges off. But I needed to make this video to do an update on things that I have found out. And I've been experimenting. So, okay, this is hot. These are warm. I mean, they're not just scorching hot. But as you can see, nothing happened to the drills. Not a thing. I just finished ironing the back of it with the drills on. And I've had a lot of people ask me, can you do that? Well, I found out, yes, you can. I would just let it sit to cool before I did anything else with it. This still is a little bit wavy, but I'm going to, when I mount it on something, I will just kind of put double stick tape or some other adhesive and kind of mash it down, and it will help flatten that out a little bit. So I wanted to show you that. The next thing I want to show you, this is another canvas. I think this one was from FG Normal or GBFKE. I don't remember which one. What I've started doing now is pulling the paper back because there are a few wrinkles, and if you will take your hands and just kind of smooth it out just a little bit, you will get rid of some of the wrinkles on the back. As you can see, they're still there. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to do the other side same way. As I said, I've been experimenting, so I want to try to share some of what I have discovered. Now I'm going to turn it over. I do not change the cover out. It has not ever been a problem for me. Now I'm just going to slowly move my iron along. I'm not going to leave it in one place for a very long time. It doesn't need to. I do not put towels over the top. I don't put anything over the top because it will keep you from getting a nice iron on it. When you're ironing your clothes, you don't put towels on top because you don't get the heat that you need. Okay, so as you can see, I am just doing this dry. Another reason I put the towel is this way I can kind of go over the edges better. We learn things all the time as we're going along, but that was one thing I did discover. Now, let's look at the back. It is much flatter. I can go over this again. Now, if you do want to add just a tad bit of fluid, what I did is I got a washcloth and I wet it. And I squeezed as much water as I could out of it. And I would just press that wet washcloth over really stubborn wrinkles. But normally, that's not going to be a problem. This is going to take the wrinkles out. And these on the edges are not that important. This canvas, as you can see, the picture is nice and flat. Let's pull it up. It's ready to work, and it is very sticky. Okay, the plastic is not harmed in any way. Just use a dry iron. As I said, I found out, yeah, it looked like paper that had gotten wet, and I was just shocked. So I've been playing around, and I found this method works beautifully. Now, some have asked about double stick or double-sided canvases. Well, I have one right here. And as you can see, there are wrinkles in the back. I do them the same way. This is one that I have had for years. And there are, as you can see, some creases in there. So I'm going to iron it and see what happens with this. It's been a while since I've ironed a double stick one. I used to do them, and when I did those, I did use water. But I'm going to try it without the water this time. These don't seem to have the consistency of those other ones with the paper feel. But I'm going to try it without the water and see what happens. But I just iron it just like this. I don't do anything. I'm going to kind of stretching it as I go along with my hand. Pull this back. I'm just kind of pulling it to get that. But several people asked me, and I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And let's see. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done one. And I did use water on that. That was the main reason I started using water, or on these. Okay, what I'm going to do, okay, it is looking a little bit better. I am going to pull that back, and I'm going to flatten it with my hands. Stretch it out with my hands a little bit while it's still warm. And do the same thing here. As you can see, it has not harmed anything on the canvas. Got a little bit of wrinkle in my towel. Okay, the wrinkles are coming out a little bit better. I'll just kind of do that. Okay, it's getting better, but the main focus is the front. Does it look any better on the front? And it is looking better. I don't have quite as deep of a crease on there. Ooh, it's very sticky. Now, I have seen some videos where people had really, I would only do this if my canvas was so badly damaged that I couldn't do anything with it. I've seen people pulling the tape off of here. They pulled the tape off of the canvas. I'll link those, 2 of the videos that I watched. They pulled the tape off of here. Mine's not that bad. I'm not going to do that. And I'm also going to show you, because this is what I've done in the past. I even iron it. Well, I think I put it, I remember what I did before. I'm going to put a sheet of silicone paper on top of this, because the silicone paper will take the heat. Actually, I need the shiny side up. It will take the heat and slide easily over that paper. I don't do these on my plastic ones, but I have done this on here. I've also used like just a sheet off of a bed or something. And as you can see, it does not damage the canvas in any way. Just going to smooth it on down. Smooth it, smooth it, smooth it. Okay. This dimple that's in here is getting a little bit better. It's not nearly as bad. When you get a bubble like this, I don't know if you can see it. There's a little bubble. I just poke that. You can just poke that with your diamond painting pen and it'll pop and just flatten out. Or you can use an X-Acto knife or whatever. Most of my canvases I get now are double stick glue, just because the canvases are, to me, are easier to deal with. Not only working them, but you don't have the bubbles and rivers and things. But, you know, sometimes you still want to get something that you see. You might want that. You can iron them. You definitely can iron them. I still have this, like I said, on my wool setting. I'm going to move it around on the top a little bit. Parchment paper, which should work. Let me see. I'm not sure if I have any of my parchment paper. Yeah, I do. I got my, and this is the parchment paper I use. I do have this linked in my affiliate store on Amazon. I like this. I don't have to worry about which side I put this on. But look, this is even easier. It slides very smoothly over that. Very nicely. You can even take this cover off and replace it with parchment paper if that is your desire. Let me show you. Okay, let's see what we've got. Okay, we still have a bit of a dent in there, but it's not as bad. Now, if I put the parchment paper down on here, whenever you're testing something else, always do it on a corner. Okay, as you can see, the parchment paper goes right on there. And you can use that instead of that paper. And you can see your canvas. And I'm actually going to iron right on top of it. Haven't tried this before, but I'm going to do it right now. Just to see what happens. Okay, let me do it on this area where there's more of that little dimple. I'm moving rather quickly. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in that area. Okay. To me, the dimple is looking better. It really is. This canvas, okay, that came off easily. Let's look at that dimpled area. I think it's looking better all the time. This canvas is pretty much okay to work on. Let's look on the other side. And as I said, I have seen some people who are pulling this double stick tape off, and then they're using the diamond dots glue stuff. Well, mine is not bad enough to do that, and I am not going to pull it off of a perfectly good canvas. Now, if this thing was so messed up that there was just no way that I could work on it, I would try it. Sure would. What would I have to lose if I couldn't work on it? But like I said, I will link those videos below, because I don't have a canvas that is that bad. Okay. This is actually looking pretty good. Again, you can do it this way with this on top if you're not comfortable doing what I just did. And these are the canvases I used to put water on. Never had a problem with these kinds. It was with the ones that I showed last time. Yeah, it was just like paper had puckered up. It was weird. So, let's see what we got now. Okay. It's looking better and better all the time. In fact, it's so faint of anything that this really should not be a problem to work on. Very sticky, of course. In fact, I'm going to put my parchment paper right here and try to get a little bit more into that. Flatten that a little bit more. Let's see what happens. I'll run my hand over it while it's cooling. You know how when you curl your hair, you gotta wait for the curls to dry, cool, not dry, cool a little bit. That's what I'm doing. Okay. This is looking much better to me. Pull it up here to you. It is very, very faint where those places were. It's looking so much better. So, for those who were asking, yes, you can iron double stick canvases. Now, for those of you who want to see me do another canvas like this one was from Amazon, and as you can see, it is pretty curled up. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to roll it backwards. With double stick tape, you can do this. Not so good with mounting film or double stick, but with poured glue, with poured glue, you can do this. Double stick tape, not a real good idea. Again, I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to flatten this out before I start to iron, because I can get some of that out before I ever iron. Now this has been rolled up for, I don't know, a couple of weeks, I guess, and from when it was sent from Amazon. So it's a time to, get a few of them folds. So on the back, still it is a little bit folded up. So I'm just going to take this. Again, I have this on a wool setting. You can put it in wool, polyester, before you get to the steam setting. Okay. And I just keep moving it around, as you see. Now, I want you to notice something. That paper is over the edge. Be careful not to get on that. You can trim that off if you want to. I just don't get that close to it, but you could trim that if you needed to. And it's only on part of those edges. But the main thing we want to concern ourselves with is the drilling area. And it's very easy. Okay. See how nice and flat that is? And it's not going to be wet, so it's not going to have that drying with a ripply, wavy effect that happened to me. And I'm so sorry if anyone did that and it happened to you. Because I guess I had done it on canvases before that didn't have the paper, because like I said, it had never been a problem before. And you can see those are pretty much gone, and this is ready to drill. And if you just wanted to, just for the heck of it, just because I'm going to try, I'm going to put this parchment paper on it, and I'm going to go right on here like this, just very quickly. Okay, I'm going to smooth it out while it cools. And it is still sticky. It did not harm it in any way. That's just maybe if you had something really, really hard to get out. But don't do it on the plastic. Do not do that on the plastic, or you will have a ruined iron and canvas. But as you can see, just ironing on the back, this is ready to go. It's flat. It's ready. So I hope this helped you out and answered any questions you might have. If you have any other questions, please ask. I have shown you ironing double poured glue canvas, 2 of them. I have done a canvas with drills on it, and nothing happened to the drills. And then I have also done this one, double stick canvas, the double-sided tape. And this is one that you'll have to just work with, and just remember, keep pulling the paper up and working with it. These are a little bit more difficult to work with than the others. They're a little more stubborn. That's all I can say. But it can be well worth the effort if it's one that you really love. Just keep working with it. And you could wet a washcloth, a little damp water, and it will dry as you're ironing it. I just put way too much before, so I've decided not to use any at all. The canvases, like I said, I think there must be a lot more paper. Okay, so just work with them, and I hope that this answered some questions for you. If you have any more, please, please, please put your questions below. I will do my best to answer them. As far as ironing these things, it's not difficult. It really isn't. I just will not mix water and paper again. I really hadn't given it a thought that that's the only thing I could figure to make it kind of wavy the way it did. It looked just like paper that had been wet and had a little bit of a wave. Well, these are perfect. So, happy drilling, happy diamond painting, happy everything. Whatever craft you enjoy doing, please continue to enjoy that. I hope you're having a fabulous day, evening, whatever it is. Take care of yourselves, and I love you guys. Be careful. God bless. Bye.